Welcome to Fulham.
Thank you.
What do you reckon?
I don't really need welcome because I do live here, but welcome to Fulham.
Do you live really nearby to here?
Yes, yeah.
You?
Really, yeah, this would be kind of my local area.
So we're outside a piece of green land called Parsons Green, and there's a pub on that green. Have you heard of it?
I have, yeah.
Have you been there before?
A couple of times, yeah. Quite recently, in fact. But look, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about racing.
I was absolutely staggered when you told me you were going to do this. It seemed like too much of a challenge to me. I'm dead impressed that you've done it. Because the idea of us all mincing about in our lovely fancy race suits in Paul Ricard, driving Aston Martins and Ferraris, what have you, and you heading off to Knockhill in a Vauxhall.
Well, the first headline that I saw about the move was Watson goes from Aston to Astra, which was kind of, but I started racing on the Toka package, or the touring car package, in 2012, so I guess...
That's Ginettas?
Yeah. So I guess, like, at that age, at 15, 16, you know, you look at the touring cars and you're just like, oh my God.
And you never lose that, do you? Because that's the poster car moment.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether when you get there, it's not what you thought it was, you still aspire to it, don't you?
Yeah.
We're back on the championship trail as we head north of the border. We're at Knockhill, our annual visit to the Scottish circuit for rounds 19, 20 and 21 of the championship. Much of the talk has been about the weather this morning. It's been a wet and dry day. In the championship, the talk is about this battle between Ash Sutton and Tom Ingram. Colin Turkington is third ahead of Jake Hill.
Knockhill's completely different to any of the tracks we go to. And
small track, tight and twisty, a lot of commitment, bravery.
It's a very challenging circuit. Obviously, there's a lot of undulation. Some people say it's like going down around a roller coaster.
any other circuit in the UK, you know, the fastest way around is sort of slow into the corner and fast out, but Knockhill is the complete reverse. You know, you carry as much speed as you can into the corner, use all the curb, gather it up.
But yeah, it's sort of right up my street in terms of driving style. You can go full attack mode. Quite a lot of airtime as well, which is quite cool. It's a unique circuit in the calendar, that's for sure.
You've got to have excellent precision round here and a good car underneath you to make a good lap time work, but it's something that always produces very stellar racing and one that the crowd always love.
It's a good track, but the weather, nah, too wet. It's been dry all the time we've not been out. The minute we get out here, it starts raining. Not fun. Honestly, I can't believe how much it rained a minute ago. Woo!
Well, the track's wet, it stopped raining, but the Porsches were out doing qualifying before and there was a lot of spray still, so it's going to be wet for first run, then it's going to be a drying track I expect, so it's the person bravest to go out on slicks first, I think, probably going to be in a good position.
That's what the circuit is like at the moment. The marshals have been out sweeping some of the standing waterway.
It's not going to rain.
No, well,
No, it's all about the last 5 minutes.
This is all going to be in the last 2 minutes.
Out come the Napa Fords, which you will notice are running in this tartan livery for the weekend and heading their way down through Duffus Dip towards McIntyre's, and a chance for them to explore what the grip level may or may not be like. As you look there at Andrew Watson charging downhill, he is the fastest. He's done a 55.223.
Oh, you pole, mate.
Andrew Watson has had a lap time disallowed, so now Ash Sutton is the fastest.
Not much longer, we're definitely.
The top 10, which becomes ever more of interest, is Sutton, Watson, Collard, Camish, Hill, Ingram, Cook, Taylor Smith, Butcher and Rowbottom at the moment. Interesting names that currently miss out: Turkington and Morgan.
I forget split quali. Split quali.
Adam Morgan still needing to hustle on to get himself into that magic 10, and the first sector is down, so although the road is drying, this lap does not look like an improvement as yet. dropped to 11th, but he's about to fight back as he comes across the line and goes quickest of all on a 54.072. That's 4/10 quicker than anybody else.
Well, we're going to see an absolute plethora of green personal bests and purple fastest of everybody's sectors now as everyone gets their slicks up to speed.
So the Tartan Ford, Napa Racing of Dan Camish then finds its way through the traffic, gets all sideways, he's off the road, he's heading for something, is he? He's heading for gravel if he's not careful, but Dan just about saved it, but he's brought a whole load of muck onto the road. Rowbottom now vulnerable, 78 thousandths up on Chiltern. That's Adam Morgan going through, he's up to 9th, that pushes Rowbottom out of the top 10.
Rowbottom did not get himself in. He's 13th. He did not get in the top 10. Man was on pole for the very first race. He was on the front row last time out at Croft. Doesn't make it into the top 10.
Do you think coming in for those two fronts was over? Put us out of sync.
10 minutes for Q2 underway. Aidan Moffat, Josh Cook down the pit lane. Colin Turkington, he used to be an instructor up here, didn't he? He's in this top 10 showdown as well.
Yeah, only just got in though in 9th place, so it was close, but he managed to get in. That's all that matters at this point.
And now Tingram fires it up towards the line. Morgan goes 4th incidentally, and Turkington goes 5th. Ingram 10th at the start of the lap, is 4th by the end of it. Sutton, Cook, Moffat, Ingram, Morgan is the top 5. Right, that is Ash Sutton dancing.
Couldn't be anyone else.
No, don't know why I paused. But Ash Sutton presses on, and as he comes up towards the line, let's see what the lap time is going to be. Goes fastest. Ash Sutton does a 51.267, the best lap of the day.
Morgan moves up. Morgan gets up to 6th. So Turkington is the slowest of the BMWs in this final section at the moment.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be it. It's going to be another pole position for Napa Racing and Ash Sutton.
So the 100% record for the team continues. This is Colin Turkington. We thought he'd been off the road. He hit the chicane curb and that really unsettled the car, and off the road he rattled. So Colin Turkington will be a little bit frustrated with only 8th.
Yeah, I've somehow went from the rising star to the elder statesman in BTCC. I think this is I started in 2002 with Team and Tom McKitton, and now we're 2023. I'm with Team BMW, so I've had a fantastic career in BTCC. It's a tough environment, but when you win races and win championships, it's a mega feeling. As anybody will tell you, it's an incredibly difficult championship to get over the line. Things just need to be right for it to be your year. Almost you get a sense through the season if it's looking like it's going your way or not. You get a feeling. So yeah, I'm still hungry to win more, but it's really tough.
Well done, that was insane. Mega.
I'm out of breath. First time I got out of breath in a race car.
Cool. Well done. What an awesome lap from Ash. That was insane. That's 7 poles out of 7. But that was one that was probably most difficult. You don't ever not expect it from Ash, but at the same time, that was probably one that we kind of weren't quite expecting. So no, that was absolutely insane.
When you look at what Andy Rouse and Colin have done when they've achieved their 4 championships, in their lifespan of their touring car career, what I've achieved in half, not even a third of their lifespan in that, I've got a little bit more of a journey left than say Colin has. So all purely down to age. Obviously there's an age element there, but I'd like to think if I can match Colin, that'd be great. But if I can go one more or a few more, then that's just something that I can only dream of. To go down as a driver with the most championships to your name at current times is a big thing for me. Some people say and ask, how do you keep that hunger going when you're sort of 3 championships in? You always want one more. You always want more. We're greedy. We're human beings at the end of the day. So,
yeah. So at the moment we're currently sitting P1 in the Jack Sears Trophy, which is, to be honest, all I could have asked for really in my first half of my rookie season. The rivalry between me and Andrew is definitely a healthy one. We seem to get on pretty all right away from the track. We've had the odd game of golf here together. We do appear to be pretty close in many qualifying sessions and during the race, and we've had plenty of good battles so far this season. So nothing's got too physical just yet. We've had the odd nudge here and there, friendly rivalry of course, but yeah, it'll be fun to see how the rest of the season plays out between us.
Yeah, so winning the Jack Sears Trophy would be, it'd be great. To win any championship is difficult. To win a championship at this level is even more difficult. So yeah, that would be awesome. Be a great launch pads, hopefully for a nice long and successful touring car careers. Yeah, it'd be massive, but there's a lot of work to be done before we can start dreaming about that.
And we're looking forward, of course, to the first of 3 races at one of the most spectacular venues that we come to in the Championship. Tim, we always get good racing here.
We get great racing here, and no surprise that almost all of the field, bar 4 cars near the back, are starting on the faster soft tyre.
Now, it is Ash Sutton on pole position yet again. Every qualifying session has been claimed by Napa Racing UK. Can he hang on in there? Because this is going to be tough. So the cars get away for the first of the 2 green flag laps that they get. Chance to get some warmth into the Goodyear tyres. It is Ash Sutton on pole position, as we say.
Very nervous for some reason. Nervous?
Dan Rowbottom's car has stopped on track, and that was as they were queuing up to go to the hairpin. Now, whether it's stalled or whether it's got a more severe problem, we will find out. That is not only disastrous for this race, but for the rest of the day, because it's going to condemn him to the back for race 2, and progress from there is going to be very tough again.
Just a heads up, mate. Robo is stopped just ahead of you on the left side. If they can't recover his car, or he can't get it moving in time, there may be a delay to the start. It looks like it's being pushed off to the side now. Dan Rowbottom's car is going to be pushed onto that cut through at the hairpin, and that means that it is unlikely to get to the pit lane, unlikely to be able to start the race, and so Dan Rowbottom misses this race, and we'll have to start race 2 from the back of the grid. Lights out, blast off at Knockhill. Great getaway by Ash Sutton. Josh Cook slots in behind him as they go down towards Duffer's Dip for the first time. Jake Hill not able to split the front row cars, and he's going to be third as they head into Duffer's Dip for the first time. So a good getaway by Sutton as they drop down now into McIntyre's. The Ford holds sway. Jack Butel started from the pits. Dan Rowbottom, as you can see, standing by the car, did not start at all as the leaders are nose to tail. And Cook now is thinking about where to make the move. So good work. Obviously, watch for a lunge from Cookie here. There's a big gap to Jake behind.
Josh Cook lines up to have his first serious bid on the outside line, brakes hard, going down towards the hairpin. Can't do it on the outside, looks for the undercut coming out of the corner. Sutton just stays ahead. It's one of the raciest performances we've seen out of the One Motorsport and Starline Racing Hondas this year. In a sense, a home race. One of the drivers, Aidan Moffat, of course, Scottish driver. As out wide goes Sutton, through goes Cook, they touch. Josh Cook takes the lead. Fantastic move, and he's done it. Damage to both cars, but Cookie is through. He leads.
Okay, let's keep an eye on Jake behind.
Oh, look at the rain coming down as they're coming to the hairpin. The rain is absolutely coming down. This is going to change the whole complexion of the race.
It was forecast, and the tap has been turned on. So it's a very greasy circuit.
Look, it's wet everywhere.
Yeah.
They're going to have to stop for wets now. Now is the time to stop for wets, absolutely.
Looks like there's quite a chunk of rain there, so just watch braking point here.
Ingram comes in, he's the first of the leading group to bail, so Ingram becomes the focus of attention. Who else is going to come in? Nobody else in that leading group has as yet blinked, apart from Adam Morgan. He's bailed as well, hasn't he? So Morgan is in for wets as well. He was running in that leading group. He's pitted, so Ingram and Morgan, they are the 2 to watch. Ash Sutton on the inside line, should get the race lead back. Josh Cook tries to stay on the outside, which he does, and goes through on the drag up the hill. Josh Cook with his nose in front. Jake Hill goes for the pit lane this time as Ash Sutton gets crowded to the inside. Cook leads, and then he's got to slow the car down for Duffer's Dip. Takes a big deep breath. Round the outside comes Sutton. There's contact, and off goes Cook. He's heading for the tyres. Josh Cook off the road, into the gravel, into retirement.
Well, all it takes in slippery conditions is the slightest touch, but I do feel for Josh Cook. He'd driven beautifully in really tricky conditions. Because the rain has come back, this gamble of staying on slicks is not going to work. Ingram is going to be the big beneficiary, I can guarantee you. The rain's coming down really hard again now.
And Ash Sutton paddles his way through the chicane. Now it looks properly horrible. He's just managed to catch the slide. He's off, he's through the gravel, he's back on the road. Ash Sutton is having a horrible drive out there. He's on the wrong tyres for the conditions, and he's just got to either survive this as best he can, or sooner or later he's got to bail.
Oh, the safety car's out. Well, this is going to change the whole complexion. Those that have already changed tyres are going to massively close up their track position. This is not what Sutton wanted to see.
Safety car.
Safety car, safety car.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
It's a big ask to gamble it, but I would personally be going in the pits for wets now, even if you're in the first 5 positions.
At the minute we got stick, I think we're going to struggle because it will put us at the back of the grid if we box now.
We're going to go back racing this time, and as Ash Sutton stacks them all up down to the hairpin, the cars directly behind aren't on the lead lap, but they're on wets and they're going to pounce.
Ingram is going to win this race. And look, Sutton comes in the pits. It's too late.
It is. So we go green for a 26-lap race now.
Absolutely no point in staying out on slicks, so I'm not surprised that Sutton's come in.
So race order, Tom Ingram leads the way, looking for a second win of the season and of course looking for the championship lead come the end of the day. So Tom Ingram is on his last lap then, and what a race this has turned out to be. It was the right time to pit, and circumstances subsequent to the pit stop have helped to a degree, but Tom Ingram it is who is going to come down now to the hairpin. He is on target for a 27th career win, a second of the season, and to win race 1 of the day. It's been wet, it's been dry, it has been dramatic. Tom Ingram wins race 1 at Knockhill. Is Andrew Watson going to hang on to 4th place? He's got Stephen Jelly right with him as they come up to the line. It is Watson for 4th, Jelly 5th, Collard 6th, Sutton 7th ahead of Taylor Smith.
No, mate, Ingram has failed the roller. Ingram has failed the roller. It's the really hard bit at this point. So you've either started the race on a wet ride height setting, so you've compromised dry performance. All the radar said we weren't going to get wet, and everyone's agreed that that's the right call, we'll start on dry ride height. When you come in to fit wets, you then have to go to the wet ride height settings. And we didn't see Ingram do it, we didn't see Hill do it, but Hill's obviously started the race on his wet ride height. So he's inherited the win, essentially, by doing the right thing.
Deserve that, don't we? Right call, wasn't it? Hey?
What happened? I don't know what happened. Short and failed? Yeah, I think Come on! Come on! Yes! Come on! Come on! Mate. Well done. Yes! Oh, mate! Oh. Oh. Good job, man. Good job. I had no idea what was happening.
Probably the craziest race I've ever been in. I had zero idea what position we were in. Then onto the safety car, I was second in the train and Ash pulled off, so I thought we were winning, and then I heard 4th, and then there's some other things going on, so I'm just delighted to be back up the front. And
taking his 2nd independent win of the year. Well done to Andrew Watson. Absolutely delighted he was in Parkett, and he is again. Came 4th overall, equals his best overall results, and it's the independent win for Andrew Watson. Well done. Congratulations to Andrew Watson. He takes the...
Hadn't a clue what position I was in, but just tried to pick a few off and have a good clean race, and we ended up, you know, on the overall podium. Not sure where yet. I mean, we finished 4th on the road, top independent, and then I think there's some ride height issues after the race. So yeah, we ended up with 2 trophies here. So just over the moon. You know, great first race, good points. Couldn't see anything. My wiper stopped. Screen was fogged up. Cars everywhere. Yellow flag, green flag. Yeah, so I just about saw the checkered flag, and I knew at that stage it was good, but didn't know how good. So yeah, just absolutely over the moon, and it's nice to be back up the front.
You're in at the deep end here now, aren't you? This is the biggest contact sport in the motoring world. British touring cars, it's known to be, isn't it? Short of Dodgems.
Yeah, but it's great. I love it. It's like old school in a way. It's GT cars are probably too expensive to fix.
They've got too many bits that hang off them that are expensive.
Yeah, and normally the radiators are sort of placed right at the front to deter you. So, yeah, our things are built a little bit stronger. But I have found this year that there's good give and take. You know, it's not like people are throwing it up the inside. And
so there's a code,
race.
is there?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Definitely the first couple of races, I was probably overly nice and like contact averse, but that doesn't work. So. Yeah, starting to.
Did you roll the sleeves up a bit?
A bit, yeah. I mean,
get rid of the old Harry Potter goggles because they make you look very friendly. The old Harry Potters do.
On the first weekend of the year, Paul O'Neill did say that I looked too intelligent for touring cars. So I know that you're trying to take the piss out of me, but I'm going to spin that round in a positive light.
He wasn't wrong.
Just having no luck, absolutely none. Yeah, just really annoying. You know, that should have been top 5 or a podium, and there's nothing you can do when someone just rejoins the track and just takes you out. You know, and you don't get any luck in this championship. It kicks you in the balls.
Rory was on slicks, trying to man it out on slicks. Fair play to him. But he cut the chicane, just absolutely no grip whatsoever. He couldn't steer. So he went through the chicane. As I came round, he just clipped my rear left, puncture, and that's it, game over. Yeah, that's just one of those things. You know, it's incredibly annoying. And, you know, our weekend could have been completely different because if we were P4 on the road, we would have been P2 because the 2 Hyundais got kicked out.
Adam made the perfect time to come in. The pit stop went great, and then he gets hit off by somebody in a position where ultimately we would have been P2. I mean, at that moment when the radio message came out and he said, "I'm out," that was a knife in the heart, really. Yeah, but anyway, we've forgotten about that one now.
Just have to move on.
Yeah, move on. Yeah.
1 minute you have an hour, and the next minute it's time to go. So. Second time lucky.
It is a dry circuit, pretty much ready for the 20th round of the 30 races within the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. The 2 formation laps are about to get underway. The grid, of course, is based on that race 1 result.
Good luck, man. Being outside. Got this.
Drivers very vigorously trying to get the warmth into the tyres. The Knockhill circuit is just over 1.2 miles long, so it's one of the reasons why they're being so vigorous, but it's also, of course, why they get these 2 warming up laps to help get the tyres up to operating temperature. So Jake Hill is the man on pole position, with Andrew Watson with him at the front of the grid. BMW and Vauxhall at the front.
Square your box, look out for your tape.
Good start by Hill, good getaway by Collard, but the gap ahead of him suddenly narrows. He tries to go to the inside, not a great start by Watson, so Collard jumps him to go third. Jelly's up to second, it is the BMW's first and second. Hill ahead of Jelly, good getaway by Collard. Watson is already under attack, Collard makes a mistake, he goes wide, and Sutton is through on the inside line already to get up into third, and Collard tumbles backwards.
I think Sutton is looking for second place early on in this race.
And he's done it, because there he is, through the chicane, he goes in second spot. So it is Hill ahead of Sutton, and look at him go, as in the background, a big dive. The Vauxhalls are side by side there. Through on the inside goes Aaron Taylor-Smith to try to get himself up and past Andrew Watson as they run now down towards the hairpin. Ronan Pearson gets ahead of Watson, Collard gets ahead of Andrew Watson as well.
Yeah, Andrew Watson just struggling for pace from the get-go in this race, almost like he hasn't got the heat in his tyres enough to get going.
One off wide there, that was Turkington by the look of it. Colin Turkington out wide. So Gamble, Doble, Camish, Patterson, they all go through, and Turkington drops back to 16th place.
Well, he just got shuffled out wide, I guess, onto the grass. Here he is on the outside. Yeah, gets pushed out wide, doesn't he? And he just can't get the traction to get back on in place.
It's a little bit further back where all the battles are. Rowbottom's miserable day continues. A pit stop and he's about to rejoin.
I wonder if that's a legacy of his electrical problems from race 1.
May well be. And he's going to have to wait for everybody to go past before he can find a gap in the traffic. So costs him a lap. smoke there is that bodywork against the tyre. Dan Camish is forward, we're looking at, I think it is bodywork rubbing, but he's up the inside of Adam Morgan. More bodywork flies as they come out of the hairpin. Camish lines up to get past the Morganator on the inside line, heading into Duffer's Dip, and he's gone by. This is Rob Huff's view. He is in 14th place behind them. There are the leaders, and it remains Hill over the curve, ahead of Sutton. And then look at that massive gap to third place, Stephen Jelly. Adam Morgan has got a problem. He had a puncture in the earlier race, and he's got problems again. That car slowly heading for the pit lane. And Adam Morgan does seem to have an awful lot of bad luck this year. Having switched from the family team that we don't have on the grid anymore to WSR, taking the car with him for WSR to run, but some bad luck seems to have gone his way as well.
Yep.
So Jake Hill from pole, Ash Sutton from 6th. And they are covered now by just over half a second out of the chicane. Jake Hill absolutely on the ragged edge. He saves it. Sutton is closer still, and now he's planning where to make a move. So Sutton was fractionally quicker. Now Hill goes on the defensive. This is Sutton's first proper challenge. It's to the outside coming into the hairpin. He wants the switch back. He was able to get out of the move from the outside, but lost a little bit of time in so doing. So the BMW good off the corner.
Keep pressuring Jake. He's using hybrid this lap.
Yeah, I think Sutton's best chance is to feign not attacking and stay on the left and dive bomb. Oh, lock up there. That will upset Hill. He'll run a little bit wide, lose a bit of time through the next section. It'll also make him wary on the brakes. That BMW sliding around quite a bit.
Look at the gap, though. They are 12 seconds up the road from Stephen Jelly. That's not a slow car.
No, so, and look, he's in a comfortable third place. It just shows the pace of the two in front, Hill and Sutton.
Colin Turkington is in the barriers, which you do not see very often. A lot of barrier damage done. We're on the last lap. One corner to go. Jake Hill leads. Is it going to be win number 4? Sutton tries. One last roll of the dice. Can't do it. Jake Hill comes out of the corner ahead. Up towards the line they come. Sutton accelerates to the flag. Jake Hill wins for the 4th time this year. Great drive by Jake to withstand the pressure from Ash Sutton. 0.374 of a second between them.
Fantastic job. It's a shame about Jelly with the restart, because otherwise I think we'd have been on Jake much earlier and putting a lot more pressure on him. You do make some good TV though, mate. Right on, mate. Make a job. It made good TV. I think that's one that we'll watch back again.
Yeah, that was a good race. And it was clean as well. Every time through the jump, it was like, just both of them looked like they were that close to shunting. Every time.
I had 2 laps where I was like, I know I said we're 12 seconds ahead of Jelly, but if we actually DNF, what happened to Colin at the end?
He got shunted by
Got fired.
I think. Because then Camish stopped on circuit. So I don't know whose fault it was, but...
Now this is Camish and Turkington.
Yeah.
So there's contact there, and that fires Turkington across in front of Camish into the barriers, and Camish retired the other side of the chicane.
It's another angle of it. Well, I think Camish sort of lost control after the first bang and then ended up turning into Turkington.
With the rear-wheel drive BMW, you know, you have to pick your battles. You know, you're quite vulnerable in the pack. You know, if you get a bit of a knock, it's very easy to find yourself in the gravel and out of a race. So it's important to build your weekend. You know, have a solid finish race 1, and you know, sort of almost build the aggression as the weekend goes on. So yeah, a lot of BTCC is about managing risk, collecting the points and being consistent, and you know, that sort of rolls off the tongue quite easy, but it's quite difficult to do. Nobody wins BTCC who doesn't deserve to win it. You know, I've won it 4 times, and on each of those years, it's been my year. You know, I've deserved to win it, and the same applies to Ash. You know, he's won it 3 times so far, and as things look, he's going to win it plenty more times to come.
I'm a huge believer in what you put in, you get out, and even as a driver now, if I look back at the driver I was when I first won in 2017, I've developed massively in myself and my own skill set, surrounded myself with the right people, which I think is such a big factor. The touring cars has been a massive dream for me, big part of what I've wanted to go and do in my life, and if it means I can break records and make history during that process, then that's even better.
Oh, that's mine.
You haven't done your job yet.
Okay.
You know, I've been racing for a long time now, and I know that there's elements sometimes you can't catch a break right. Sometimes things don't go right. Race 1 didn't even make the start. Electrical fault. I can't remember exactly what gubbin on the car failed, but something failed, and yeah, had to pull off. Then obviously race 2, I think it was dry. Started from the back. Didn't make much progress. It was just a hard weekend. We didn't have a lot of pace.
I think we are about to get very, very wet. I'm getting wet, they're going wet. Ingram is going wet tyres. Let's just get them on now, we'll get some heat in them. Kind of wish I'd bought an umbrella or a big coat.
So in these conditions, the clerk of the course, Ian Watson, feeling that it is safest to release the cars under control conditions. We are not going to have a 24-lap race, we're going to have a 27-lap race, and that makes me think that we're going to have 3 safety car laps.
I love Knockhill.
It's running down my chest.
Yeah, race 3 is not one that I'd ever like to relive. I don't think many people enjoyed that, especially not the personnel on the grid before the race, because it was an absolute monsoon.
The race is on. This is not the green flag lap, this is the start of the race, because under a safety car start, this counts as the race. So there's no formation lap, the race is on.
You will still have the 2 green flag laps, but we'll just then roll straight into safety car start.
My pants are wet.
We need a line of fire.
Safety car in this lap. So we are getting set, everybody, to go racing. This might not be the only appearance of the safety car, but we are going to call it in this time and get racing underway. And so for the 3rd race of the day at Knockhill, we go racing. Ronan Pearson leads the way. Ricky Collard, 9/10 of a second back in the spray. In 3rd place is Dan Lloyd, and here come the heroics up the inside line. A big dive by Tom Ingram, and he goes through on the inside of Andrew Watson. What a move!
Oh no, Nick Halstead's off. Where's that? Is that on the exit of the chicane?
It's at the hairpin. He's gone straight on at the hairpin. The safety car is deployed. Yeah. So the safety car comes out on track. That's going to bunch them all up. Ronan Pearson's heart sinks because he was leading by 2 seconds. He got away while they were squabbling behind him.
Safety car, race until you see the board. Got a little buffer to Jake behind.
We're back racing at Knockhill, race 3 of the day, and Ronan Pearson is still there leading the way. Lloyd 2nd, Sutton, then Collard, Jelly and Hill to round out the top 6 as Ricky Collard's rather battered Toyota turns there into Duffer's Den. This is for 2nd place, Lloyd versus Sutton, as ahead of them of course Ronan Pearson tries to build that gap, and a battle behind would really help him.
Yeah. Oh, that was Jake Hill into the back of Jelly, his teammate.
Turns him around at the hairpin. Jake Hill gifts places then to Josh Cook.
Look at the displeasure in the West Surrey Racing pits. Can't believe what they've seen.
That's Sutton going 2nd at the expense of Lloyd. So it's Pearson now with Sutton bearing down on him. Further down the order, Aidan Moffat's up to 13th, Dan Rowbottom is up to 15th, and Hill was 16th across the line, out of the points.
Yeah, that's a real blow for his championship, losing those points, especially with Sutton now up to 2nd.
Lead gap coming down, isn't it? Because Ash Sutton has just done the absolute best in the 1st sector. In the 1st sector alone, he's half a second quicker than Ronan Pearson. So a Sutton win is on here.
No question, he's a master in the wet anyway.
Right, Pearson's going wide at the hairpin. Here comes Sutton up the inside, and he's going to be ahead as they get to the stripe. So Ash Sutton leads the way over the line.
Good job, mate. Steady away. 15 laps to go.
There's Hill trying to make up another place. He gets through on the inside, nice and cleanly on Andrew Watson. He's got Camish behind Watson now as well, so Hill is on salvage mode, isn't he? Get as many points back as he can.
Yeah, Camish now queues up to have a go at Andrew Watson, the Ulsterman in the Vauxhall Astra from Carstore Powermax Racing, down through the hairpin. Lead gap is 2.7 seconds.
Oh.
Josh Cook does the fastest lap as Hill goes off the road again.
He's got a problem with his left front. Another Napa Racing car coming out of the pit lane at the moment. That's Rowbottom.
Yeah. Ash Sutton dominates at Knockhill. He's on target for win number 8. He's going to have 2 laps to run at the end of this as he drops down towards the hairpin. The tartan livery that the Napa Racing UK Fords ran this weekend, well clear of Josh Cook, who is having to settle for second place, and then Pearson and Ingram. Ash Sutton, he's going to win for the 8th time this season. Sutton wins at Knockhill. Ash Sutton's 8th win of 2023, and he's 8 seconds plus ahead of Josh Cook. What a day for Ash Sutton. He leaves Knockhill comfortably in the lead of the Quick Fits British Touring Car Championship with Tom Ingram second.
Well done, Siri. We finished race 3. Good job, mate. Yeah, we finished race 3. Well, that's the best bit of all. I think the most impressive bit is we actually finished race 3. Does that make the 7-hour drive home a little bit easier? Yeah, it did. It kind of went to plan, didn't it? It rained, which is what we needed. We made the right call with setup and everything beforehand. We were already planning for a wet race, but on the grid you go, oh, we're going wets. Everyone else on the grid follows you, and then it's just up to him really at that point. It's he's a bit special in the wet.
Wiper broke. And we'd had a few issues with our wiper in practice, and we thought we'd fixed it, so that was all good. And then, yeah, on the formation lap, it packed up, which was a problem because it was biblical. But the way the Jack Sears trophy points work, you know, you've got to finish, and even if you're not finishing up the front, you can score some really good points. So, yeah, I wasn't going to pit under those circumstances. I think the team were a bit confused because every time it's rained, we've went forward, and yeah, I just could not see anything. It was terrifying, you know, especially into that last corner where you can't see my braking point and no idea what's in front or behind. So yeah, that wasn't good.
Another day to forget. Started so well on Saturday, P6 in quali, which is going to be really good for us. You know, just 3 top 6s would have been in mega. Unfortunately, in race 1, which was really tricky conditions, but Rory was on slicks and he came across, took me out. Race 2, we had a mechanical fault, so another DNF. And then race 3 on the grid, we made the call early to go to wets. And I think I was only one of the few cars on the wet tyres. And I was praying for the race to go live and set off, and everyone had to pit, and I'd be the only one on wets. But with the way my luck's going, they put a 5-minute delay on it, which gave a chance to everybody to put the wets on. But overall, just a weekend to forget. You know, if you don't laugh about it, you'll cry. So, you know, that's why we're here. That's what we do. We're touring car drivers. We just got to get on with it.
To survive
left rear down,
and also collect as many points as possible.
It's constantly challenging you.
Not getting the results we were quite aiming for.